Hey, what's up, gentlemen? Chris here with Elite Level Leader, and welcome to the Battleground. In today's workout, I have an arms workout for you, and this workout is a little bit longer than our typical workouts. We're doing arms today, so basically we're doing biceps and triceps. So we're doing a set of 6 exercises for each of those movements, so it's about twice as long as some of the other movements in here, but we're doing the biceps and the triceps together. So how this is going to work is, like I said, we're going to be doing 6 different exercises for biceps and 6 different exercises for your triceps, and what I want you to do is aim for 12 to 15 reps for each set that we're going to end up doing, and we're going to end up doing 3 sets of each of these movements with a 1-minute rest in between. So what we're going to do is, as far as weight is concerned, I want you to choose a weight that is challenging. So when you get to that 12 to 15 rep range, I want to make sure that you are failing basically at the point when your form starts to break down, not necessarily muscle failure. So choose a weight that is challenging, but you're not going to complete failure with bad form towards that 12 to 15 rep range. All right, guys, it's going to start off. We're going to go with biceps first, and we're just going to start off with some basic alternating dumbbell supination curls. So I'm going to head back here. I'm going to grab 2 dumbbells. We're going to start with those dumbbells down by our sides. Palms are facing each other, facing our hips basically. I'm going to start on the right side, so make sure your chest is up, rolling those shoulders back. You're going to go ahead and curl your right side up till your palm faces your chest, pause at the top, and then come slow and controlled back down. Then you alternate to the left side, curl it up, and then all the way back down. So basically the palm is facing your hip at the bottom, and then as you curl it up, now it's facing your chest. And you're just going to alternate these for a total of 12 to 15 reps per arm. So really we're doing 24 to 30 of these depending on the weight that you're choosing. Really squeezing that bicep at the top, pausing for a second, and slow and controlled back down. We don't necessarily have to do a negative on that where it's really, really slow, but just enough that I don't want you dropping that dumbbell down. So you're going to do a set of 12 to 15 reps of 12 to 15 of those, and you're going to rest for 1 minute in between each of the sets, and we're going to complete a total of 3 sets today. After you've completed those, now we're going to move on to seated incline dumbbell curls. So I've got my bench set up right here, and I've got it set up at an incline. We kind of go really high up here, so almost vertical, but just a little bit back here. Make sure you have the bottom set up as well. Now from here, I'm going to use the same dumbbells that I was using for those supination curls. So these are seated incline dumbbell curls. So really what I like to do is to kind of get my legs out of the way. We're leaning back here, and what this is doing is allowing us to get our arms and our elbows further back than we typically would be doing. So typically, you're standing here just like we were doing with the supination curls, you're upright. By leaning back, those arms are going to go back farther, and you have a longer range of motion, and the bicep is under tension for a lot longer. So it's basically being flexed the entire time as you're coming up. If you're just standing there, leaning back, or when you're standing there when you're not leaning back, you're kind of at full extension here, that bicep is not under tension. But as you lean back and that arm goes back, that dumbbell and that bicep is under tension for a lot longer. So what I like to typically do here is kind of raise my feet up, get them out of the way, because you have your dumbbells down by your sides here, you don't want them hitting your legs. So if you have the ability to get your feet up out of the way, you want to go ahead and do that. I just cross my legs, so I'm leaning back, my back is against that bench, but my arms are hanging down by my sides, and then you're going to do these at the same time. We're not supinating these. So you curl up, squeeze that dumbbell at the top, slow and controlled all the way back down. Squeeze up, slow and controlled back down. Just like the other things, we're going to end up doing 12 to 15 reps of these. Once you've done 12 to 15 reps, set them down. You're going to go ahead and rest for 1 minute, and we're going to do a total of 3 sets of those today. After you've completed that, then we're moving into the next movement, which is going to be dumbbell hammer curls. So this is once again going to be in a standing position. Make sure all your equipment is out of the way, and we're going to curl at the same time. We're not alternating these either. So the hammer curl, the difference is we're going to keep our hands, palms facing forward the entire time. So just like when you were starting with those supination curls, dumbbells are going to be by your sides, palms are facing each other, and you're going to curl them up and keep your palms facing each other the entire time. It's going to work the wider part of your bicep. So go ahead, grab these dumbbells, chest up, shoulders back, palms are facing each other, curl them up, pause, all the way down. Squeeze that bicep at the top, slow and controlled all the way down. You're going to do 12 to 15 reps of these with a 1 minute rest in between, and we're going to do a total of 3 sets of those today. Then we're gonna go on to the next movement, which is going to be dumbbell spider curls. So I've got my bench set up here. I'm gonna turn it around so you can see kind of what I'm doing a little bit better here. And we're gonna lower it down a little bit more. So we're coming all the way down to here. It's still at an incline, just not as high as what we were doing before. Now on the dumbbell spider curls, you're gonna place your chest here on the top of this bench. Dumbbells are gonna be coming down here, and what you're doing is you're kind of getting up a little bit higher on this bench, and you're curling, kind of crossing your body here at a 45-degree angle and bringing the dumbbells up just like that. And we're alternating on these, 12 to 15 reps of those. So I've got my dumbbells here, place my chest high up on the top of this bench. Dumbbells are hanging down at about a 45-degree angle. I'm gonna start with my right side. Head and neck should be in neutral spine here. Curl up, squeeze that bicep at the top, come all the way down. Curl up, come all the way down. Total here, 12 to 15 of these on each side. Once you've completed 12 to 15 of those, you're gonna go ahead, set those down. You're gonna rest for 1 minute. And just like all the exercises, we're gonna do a total of 3 sets of those. After you've completed that, now we're moving on to dumbbell crossbody curls. So not on the bench this time, once again, in a standing position. Grabbing my 2 dumbbells here. Palms are gonna be down by my sides. Now what we're gonna do here is we're gonna bring those dumbbells kind of in front of our hips. And what we're doing is we're gonna cross over the front of our body. So we have those kind of in that dumbbell hammer position that we were doing before, and we're gonna alternate right to left. So I'm curling it up across the front of my body, right in front of my chest, and then slowly back down. Now I'm curling this one up, all the way down. So they're coming across the front of your body, squeezing that bicep at the top, nice, slow and controlled all the way down here. Make sure you're choosing a weight that you're able to do 12 to 15 reps on each arm. Then once you've done that, you're gonna rest for 1 minute, and just like all the exercises, you're gonna complete a total of 3 sets today. Then the final bicep movement that we're gonna end up doing today is dumbbell close grip curls. So once again, we're just gonna be here in a standing position, but we're gonna kind of be in a little bit of a squat. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take these 2 dumbbells here, and we're gonna place them right against each other. It works really, really good with the hex dumbbells because they got that flat edge on there. You're gonna press them together. What we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of widen our stance here. We're gonna bend our knees. We're gonna hang the dumbbells down between our knees. Knees should be a little bit more than a 90-degree angle here. Nice flat back here. Head and neck should be in neutral spine. You're gonna curl them up and then all the way back down. This is gonna work the inside of your biceps, keeping those dumbbells together the entire time. So bring those dumbbells together here, getting this nice squat stance. Hangs down between my legs here, chest up. Shoulders are rolled back here, head and neck in neutral spine, curl up, squeeze at the top, slow and controlled all the way down. You're really gonna feel this on the inside of that bicep. Come all the way down here. A set of 12 to 15 reps with a 1 minute rest in between for a total of 3 sets. Once you've completed that, now we're moving away from biceps, and now we're moving on to triceps. And it starts off with incline dumbbell skull crushers. So grabbing these dumbbells, get them out of the way here. We are going to be using the bench, so I'm gonna spin it back around here. We are at an incline. What I want you to do here is we're gonna get these 2 dumbbells, and we're gonna get on this bench and we're gonna bring them down towards the sides of our ears. So I've got these 2 dumbbells here. Get into my position here on the bench. Making sure I get them pressed up overhead. From here, everything should be stacked nicely, so my shoulders, elbows, wrists are all in a line. Now, the dumbbells are a little bit wider than my head. What we're gonna do is we're just simply gonna bend those elbows as those dumbbells come back. They're gonna place those dumbbells right next to my ears, and then I'm gonna press all the way up, really engaging those triceps, trying to point those elbows straight up at the sky. Making sure those elbows aren't hanging down or aren't swinging down forward. Squeeze at the top, slow and controlled all the way down. We're gonna do a set of 12 to 15 of these incline dumbbell skull crushers. Set them down, rest for 1 minute, and just like the bicep movements, we're gonna end up doing a total of 3 sets of those. Then we're gonna move into dumbbell overhead extensions, so away from the bench this time, and now we're gonna be in a standing position. I'm gonna use the same dumbbells that I was using before. We're gonna take these dumbbells, we're gonna press them together. If you're unable to press them together because of the size of the dumbbells, I like to press them together because it just gives me a little bit better form here. We're gonna press them back over your head and then press them all the way up. But you can have them separated if that's what you need to do, really based on your shoulder mobility. So go ahead, grab these 2 dumbbells, press them together, bring them up overhead, behind my head. Now, once again, trying to get those elbows pointed straight up. We're gonna extend all the way up, squeeze to the top, and then all the way down. All the way up, all the way down. Try to bring them down as far as you can behind your head, squeezing that at the top, nice and slow and controlled, all the way down, for a set of 12 to 15 reps with a 1 minute rest in between for a total of 3 sets. Then we're moving on to single arm dumbbell kickbacks. So you're gonna use a bench for these. So we're gonna go down, set this bench at a flat position here. So we're gonna place either our hand or our elbow on that bench, depending on the height of your bench. And we're just gonna be doing kickbacks. So I'm gonna grab a single dumbbell here, maybe lighten up the load a little bit on these. This is more of a straight arm movement. And from here, like I said, you're either gonna place your hand on the bench or your elbow, depending on the height of your bench. You're gonna grab this dumbbell, keeping that elbow in close to your sides. You're gonna bring it up here to a 90-degree angle. 1 foot is in front, 1 foot is in back, slight bend in those knees. You're gonna kick back and squeeze, and then slow and controlled, bring it back down. You're gonna lighten up the load on these because we are doing 12 to 15 of these, and you have that position where you're got that straight arm back there. We wanna be able to choose a weight that you're able to pause and really squeeze that tricep for a second. If you go too heavy, you're not gonna be able to do that pause at that full extension of that kickback. Once you've done 12 to 15 on the left arm, you're gonna switch off to the right arm, back in the same position here, bring that dumbbell back, and you're gonna do 12 to 15 on the other side. After you've completed that, we're gonna go ahead and move on to flat bench skull crushers. So just like we were doing before with the skull crushers in the incline position, now we're gonna go ahead and do that from a flat bench position. So just like we were doing before, dumbbells are gonna be pressed up overhead, palms are facing each other about just enough, wide enough to clear your head as you bring these back down. Elbows should be pointed straight up, and then come up, extend, squeezing those triceps to the top, slow and controlled coming down. You're gonna do a set of these for a total, or 1 set of 12 to 15 reps. After you complete 12 to 15 reps of those, set them down, rest for 1 minute, and you're gonna do 3 sets of those. Then what we're gonna do is move on to the next movement, which is gonna be close grip dumbbell press. So once again, you're gonna be on this bench in a flat position. You're gonna grab these 2 dumbbells, and you're gonna place them together. We've done this in the chest movement, but a little bit heavier. What I really want you to do is focus on, not necessarily chest, I want you to focus on the triceps. And the way you do that is by keeping those elbows in close to your sides, making sure they're not flaring out. So I'm gonna grab these 2 dumbbells, press them together, they're actually touching here. We're gonna come down, press these against our chest. Now, the difference on these is when we did on the chest, we were really focusing on the chest and squeezing at the top. What I want you to do is keep those elbows in close to your sides, and as you come down, you're gonna feel that in your triceps. So press all the way up, all the way down. Keeping those elbows, pulling those in as close as you possibly can to your sides, and come a little bit lower, more towards the abdomen than you were when we were doing close grip dumbbell bench press in the previous day. So keeping those elbows closer and bringing them down towards your abdomen is gonna really focus on those triceps. You're gonna do 12 to 15 reps of those for a total of 3 sets with the 1 minute rest in between. Then we're moving on to the final exercise today, the final tricep exercise, which is going to be just bench dips. So we've got our bench set up, a couple different ways you can do this, different levels of modification. What we wanna do, sitting on the bench here, place our hands on the bench, fingers over the edge. You're just gonna kind of put your feet out in front of you and just slide your butt over the edge of that bench. We don't wanna be way out like this. We wanna get our butt and our back as close to that bench as you possibly can. From here, we're gonna bend our elbows, and you want them going back. We don't want them flaring out like this. So they're going back, not out. So straight back, keeping that back as close as you can to that bench, press all the way up, squeeze to the top, all the way down, all the way up, slight bend in those knees. So this is kind of the intermediate stage. If you're more of a beginner, go ahead and bend those knees and do them this way. And now if you were more of an advanced, you can actually raise your feet off the ground. Maybe you have another bench, maybe you have a box, maybe you just simply have a medicine ball or a wall ball. You can set anything on the ground just to elevate your feet a little bit here off of the ground. With those feet elevated, now what you can do is keep that butt close and that back close, come all the way down. You can go deeper in that bench with those feet, or those deeper into that press down with those feet elevated. So you're gonna do 12 to 15 reps of those with the 1 minute rest in between for a total of 3 sets. Once you've completed that, that completes the workout of the day. All right, guys, that is your workout of the day. I'll see you right back here in the Battleground for your next workout. And as always, make sure you check out EliteLevelLeader.com for full training programs and to enlist today.